long ago, in a quiet part of the world where mountains brushed the sky and rivers whispered to the moon, there lived a dragon named Leora. Now, Leora wasn't like the dragons you've read about in bedtime books. He didn't roar or breathe fire. He didn't guard treasure or sleep in caves. Instead, Leora loved the night. Each evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and the sky turned deep velvet blue, Leora would climb to the tallest cliff, his silvery wings glinting in the fading light. There he would lie on his belly, eyes wide with wonder, gazing at the stars. They shimmered and danced like diamonds in the sky, and every night Leora whispered the same secret wish. I wish I could have a sky of my own, filled with stars that only I can touch. And one night, his wish came true. He discovered something no creature had ever found before, a way to pluck stars from the sky. Gently, ever so gently, he reached out his long tail and tugged a single twinkling light right out of the darkness. It floated down into his claws like a feather. Leora gasped. It was warm. It was glowing. It was his. From that night on, he soared through the heavens, gliding silently on moonlit winds, collecting stars like a child collects seashells. He tucked them into a glowing satchel made of woven cloud threads and dragonfire. The more stars he collected, the brighter his satchel grew, and the darker the real sky became. At first, no one noticed. But soon, the night began to feel different. Fireflies blinked less. Owls hooted more quietly, and dreams, especially the big and wild ones, didn't seem to come as is. Far below, in a tiny village wrapped in sleepy hills, a little girl named Sora sat at her windowsill. She looked up at the empty night and frowned. There used to be so many stars, she whispered. Where did they go? Her voice was soft as a sigh, but somehow the wind carried it high up, up, up until it tickled Leora's ear. But the dragon just smiled. Don't worry, little one, he murmured to the sky. I'll make my own starry sky, brighter than ever before. Behind a hidden ridge in the mountains, Leora began building his very own night sky. He arranged the stars carefully, like jewels on a velvet blanket. He made constellations shaped like dragons and clouds and fire, and when he was done, he floated in front of it, proud and alone. But something was missing. The stars were all there. Yes, they shone and glittered like treasure, but there were no whispers of bedtime wishes, no laughter of children pointing at the sky, no sleepy animals curling up beneath their glow. The stars felt ... cold. One quiet night, as Leora flew over the forest, he saw something that made his heart ache. A flock of baby birds had lost their way, fluttering helplessly in the dark. Without the stars and the moon, they couldn't find their nest. And that's when he knew. Stars weren't meant to be hoarded like treasure. They were meant to guide, to comfort, to inspire, to belong to everyone. With a deep breath that filled his chest like thunderclouds, Leora opened his satchel wide. The stars, as if they had been waiting, leaped into the air, spinning, swirling, soaring, racing back to where they belong. They danced through the night, painting the sky with silver light. The real sky, our sky, came back to life. The world below lit up again. Children like Sora clapped and pointed with joy. Dreamers dreamed once more, and high above, the stars twinkled brighter than ever. Leora watched it all, his heart warm and full. That night, he didn't feel like the collector of stars. He felt like their guardian. And from then on, Leora never took another star for himself. Instead, he soared quietly through the skies, keeping watch, making sure they always shined bright for those below. And if you ever look up at the stars and see one streaking across the sky, like a flash of blue light with silver wings, that just might be Leora, still flying, still watching, still making sure your dreams can find their way home. And so Leora learned that the brightest light isn't the one you keep for yourself, it's the one you share with the world.